And welcome back to Natasha's Journey, Visions and Prophecies. Today is Friday, July 20th, 2018. And it's been a while since I've actually produced a video about my actual topic of visions and prophecies. But today I will post this video about a correlation between a vision that I had about what appears to be CERN and some current events, as well as an apparent Hollywood soft disclosure about coming Earth changes. So I'll tell you about one of my most profound visions in a few minutes, but first I want to tell you about the synchronicity in life that sometimes totally amazes me. I've had a problem with my IP and TV service for a while, and I'm being charged for premium channels that on TV that I don't get. So I was letting my frustrations get away with me a couple of nights ago, and I saw an ad for Netflix, 30 days free. So I decided I didn't need TV, that I would be able to watch what I care to watch on Netflix. So I signed up, and as I perused the available titles, shows and movies, what loomed in front of me was a movie called Water Rising. So I turned it on, and I was amazed at the topic. In the last 3 years since I was indoctrinated into YouTube's alternative media, as well as the Nibiru community, of which I'm a member, I was amazed that visions I'd had more than 15 years ago seemed to be about both Nibiru and its effect on our solar system and on the Earth. I want to interject here that the name of the movie is Oceans Rising, not Waters Rising. I'm sorry I continued to say Waters Rising instead of Oceans Rising. Okay, now for the relevant visions. If you're new to my channel, or if you haven't watched my previous videos about how it happens that I get prophetic visions, I invite you to watch my videos, especially the two entitled Who is Natasha and Natasha's Family History of Psychic Phenomenon. Suffice it to say, I am not a professional psychic nor a religious fanatic by any stretch of the imagination. I just happen to have opened some kind of portal to another dimension through which I get messages. I consider it something like two-way prayer. Now please stay with me. For those who support any of the current conspiracy theories about topics of Nibiru, Nemesis, the Anunnaki, alternative theories of the origin of the human species, weather manipulation, or those who know what these terms mean, Stargate, HARP, Bluebeam, chemtrailing, ETs, CERN. Okay, I want to stop dead in our tracks with the acronym CERN, because that's what this video is about. Right now, I'm going to let you hear a clip from the movie Oceans Rising, so you understand both my excitement and concern for what it portrays, and then you decide if it represents some sort of soft disclosure of what is coming.
Thank you for waiting. What is the status?
Madam President, I am
the director of NOAA Space Weather, Ron Livingston, and this is the deputy director and satellite liaison to NASA, Pamela Cushing. She oversees the Solar Dynamics Observatory.
So what happened and why were we caught with our pants down? The sun blasted us with 3 waves of radiation, ionization, and a violent coronal mass ejection. Sunspots more powerful than a billion thermonuclear weapons, traveling at over 1,000 kilometers per second. That's what caused the spectacular aurora borealis that you could see as far south as Panama, and that's what destroyed our geodetic satellites, as well as our power transformers. We were utterly unaware and completely unprepared?
Madam President, space weather predicted heightened coronal mass ejections, and the record reflects their warnings.
Well, it wasn't enough. Ma'am, if I may, we recommend steps to mitigate the damage in case sunspots threaten the Earth again. If we directly link regional power systems to advanced warning from the Solar Dynamics Observatory, for example, we can build back a better infrastructure. These steps will cost money. Thankfully, our magnetic field deflected most of the sun's discharge. My colleague and husband, Joshua Chamberlain from the U.S. Geological Survey, can talk about the threat confronting our planet. Josh?
Hi, I'm Joshua Chamberlain of the United States Geological Survey, and I'm worried about another solar flare hitting our weakening magnetic field, Madam President. It is weakening dramatically.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt, but
Dr. Zachary, sir, it is an honor, and I was looking forward to talking with you about the Large Hadron Collider and helping us solve this problem.
what exactly kind of problem do you think we're having?
Well, I mean, over the past millennia, our magnetic field has been decreasing by 5% per century, and in the last 100 years, that is accelerated to 10%.
I'd like to focus on preventing mega solar storms from destroying our nation's infrastructure.
Well, that's what I am talking about, Madam President.
If our magnetic field were to dwindle or disappear entirely due to a polarity reversal,
then the same storm would cause epic tectonic dislocations and atmospheric sputtering and the end of all human life as we know it, aside from just some down power lines.
Chamberlain,
sinking.
please.
Now, Josh, sit down.
That's why I propose jump-starting the Earth's core.
It's impossible.
That's not impossible. You can use CERN's LHC and the relativistic ion collider over at Brookhaven.
What the hell does this
If we
have
were
to
to
do with
create
sunspots?
dual singularities at both facilities, we could capitalize on the current retrofits.
Black holes. You want to create black holes in two particle colliders on purpose? Are you serious?
Chamberlain, that is enough.
Yes, I believe the gravitons emitted, I believe, would jumpstart the dynamo effect, getting the Earth's core spinning again, thus recharging the magnetosphere.
All right. Thank you, sir.
If another solar flare hits our planet and our magnetic field is down, the Earth would turn into Mars.
Josh, time to go.
No
Would you please escort this
atmosphere,
man out?
No oxygen, no life.
You are through.
That's it.
Get him out of here.
This is all happening right now, and nobody cares about it.
Thank you.
Madam President, I apologize.
Now let's talk about what many of my visions have to do with coming Earth changes. And the one I'm going to show you seems to be about CERN. Here is the verbatim vision as recorded in my journal on August 10th, 2001. Find the concentric circles of illuminated quartz with a black center of highly polished material where dematerialization and transportation to other dimensions occur, like a black hole. It is locked with a time code, plus its vibrations must be raised. When the next comet occurs, the time will be right, the Earth will open up, and the secrets will unfold that will protect humanity when the rotational shift occurs. End quote. This diagram is what I sketched in my journal. Well, I've been at odds with many accounts that the purpose of CERN is detrimental to our Earth, or other conspiracy theories about its devious purpose, because of the vision that I just told you about. So back to the movie Oceans Rising. If you are interested in the topics I mentioned before, I highly recommend that you watch this movie. If you can't find it on your TV programming or online, it's probably available at your local library. The premise of the movie is that Earth is experiencing solar flares that cause a pole reversal that has cataclysmic effects on Earth, pole melt, earthquakes, and tsunamis as a result of this gigantic solar storm. As the poles migrate toward the equator, the polar ice caps melt and flood most of the Earth. Right here I'm going to show you another relevant vision that came to me on July 27th, 2001. I quote, "Asteroid hits the Arctic when the North Pole points toward the sun. It will melt the ice cap and cause earthquakes to lower California mountains. Only above 6,000 feet will escape. Tsunamis of great proportion will rumble across the Pacific. Water level rises. Deserts will turn to lush green, and Earth will cleanse. Brotherhood will align with brotherhood as the borders disappear." End quote. This vision also correlates with what the movie is showing. Earthquakes, land masses moving up and down, melting ice caps, tsunamis. Many people have predicted that a coronal mass ejection, as bad or worse than the Carrington event of 1859 that destroyed the telegraph system across the world, will cause unimaginable havoc across Earth again. Notably, Ed Dames, the remote viewer, has predicted that the coronal mass ejection, he calls the kill shot, will destroy all communications on Earth, resulting from a solar storm of extreme dimension. Nibiru researchers predict that the incoming Nemesis system will cause solar storms also that will devastate Earth with volcanism and seismic activity, as well as a geologic pole shift and resulting crustal displacement. Now back to the movie. I think the cinematography is spectacular, as it shows huge tsunamis rolling across our planet. It seems that only mountaintops and land that is higher than a certain elevation stays dry. The scientists who are in charge of trying to avert the disaster predict that the Earth's core had stopped rotating and that our magnetosphere is being destroyed, which in turn is allowing our protective atmosphere to dissipate and resulting in deadly solar rays penetrating our fading atmosphere. This is all caused by solar flares of probably XXX size or higher. Okay, got the picture? The only thing that will save Earth is for CERN to create a black hole that will more or less jumpstart the Earth's core to begin rotating again and reestablish our protective magnetosphere. So, to those who support the conspiracy theories that CERN was built to carry out the elite's goal of reducing our population or any of the other devious plans that have been proposed about CERN, this movie and my related visions offer an alternative theory that at least you could consider. I do hope you'll leave your comments about the ideas that CERN might have an alternative purpose, and I especially invite the trolls and shills who want to debunk my theories to come at me with all your vengeance. I welcome it. But I especially want to thank you for investing your time to watch this video about the very serious topic of coming Earth changes. I also invite you to ask questions about the movie and the topics that we discuss here, and anything else that might be of interest to you. I'll put links to my relevant videos about validation of my own visions and coming earth changes and hope for mankind. I'll put those links in the description. So may God bless you and keep you safe. I am Natasha.